As the heroes were chasing down their prey, the dangers of the fungal jungle revealed themselves. A huge fungi creature with whirling and whipping tendrils lashed out indiscriminately. And as the Nihilith fell to these lashing tendrils, more spore-bearing puffballs rose from the mushroom forest and assaulted the heroes. Ruff used his arcane magics to increase Nick's size to enormous proportions, who then promptly tumbled his way through the cavern and into a massive spider's web, triggering the patient ire of a Goliath spider even larger than his current form. When suddenly, from the back of the cave, a squad of purple-skinned elves came running into the fray, swords ready, and joining the hero's cause against the massive arachnid. And Nick collapsed under a vicious attack, and the drow were quickly becoming savaged, beaten, and killed.
Welcome back, scavengers of the night.
That's what they call us.
To stemming the tide.
I'm a scavenger of the day, actually.
I assume this episode doesn't come out around Halloween.
Okay.
But I just had a spooky feeling in my heart. Anyways.
October 7th.
Oh!
Happy anniversary, David.
That ain't bad. Everyone's getting the spooky vibe now.
And Victoria, I guess, if you listen to this.
Shout out.
My brother and sister-in-law's
And Victoria,
anniversaries today.
Despite
there you go. That's a rare James shout out.
Yeah. Didn't see that one coming.
So, speaking of shout outs, shout out to you guys and your characters. This week, following up on last week, I was just thinking we should do a little bit more check-in, see what's going on and what our characters are thanking. So, my character clearly is new.
Mine are
to this
thinking a lot
adventure,
of things.
because Freeman's a real garbage salesman. Real dirt merchant.
Just
It's a real
shit.
It's a real.
But
It's a real
now that
silly
we're-
market man. That Freeman.
Now that we're all new characters, like, really nothing is tying us to the story like we were originally. So I just wanted to step in here and just like check in with the characters and like how everyone is feeling about what their character is thinking. Are they scared? Are they happy? Are they super excited to almost die if you're Nick? Like, just in general, how they think the adventure is going. So let's bury the lead a little bit and go to James first.
Ruff is very confused. He's finally starting to get a bearing on the powers that brought him back from the great beyond, and get a handle on his new abilities. Like, if we remember previously, he was a spirit armament war priest. So all of this stuff is rather new to him. He's also hurting quite a bit, you know. He's probably picked up that something's pretty wrong in Otari, specifically with his interactions with Morlabint. He's also feeling pretty guilty about the death of Tulak. He legitimately believed with all of his being that if he was here, it was to get this done. And through the power of a deity, he was put here to get this done. And he never once imagined, maybe it's the arrogance of youth from when he passed, left over in his mind and in his soul. But he did not think they were going to lose another companion. I mean, technically we lost Kruka, but there's still hope there, and he still legitimately believes there's hope there. Like it's a readily available spell. It's just at a higher level than we're currently able to cast it to get him back. But losing Tulak in such a moment that lacks grandiose. Unlike, the death of Gilda or Physic, both who died at the hands of Volok, losing Tulak to a froghemoth felt like an extra gut punch to James as the player and to Ruff as an actor in this story, because he just thought that everything was okay. He was under the protection of a deity, and he's now realizing that he's not under that protection and his friends aren't under that protection, and he can't protect his friends. So there's a little bit of a conflict, of a crisis of faith happening within his mind currently. That's why he's been pretty quiet the last couple of sessions. He hasn't really gone out of his way to get to know Nick or even really start with Harold, because he's not convinced anymore that any of us are going to be here for a long while.
Oof.
There's my
dark.
5 minutes.
Yeah, I like it though. It's a pretty bleak place.
Yeah.
And what about Lump? Where's Lump at?
Lump is compartmentalizing very, very hard right now. And it might be literally because they have flesh warp anatomy. So they might literally be just like shutting off parts of their brain to cope with the loss of Tulak, who they feel partly responsible for. And just Nick is now going down. They're surrounded by strange alien spores on all sides. Everything is just constantly trying to tear them limb from limb. But in their hearts, they know like they will do this. There is no doubt left. There is just almost blind faith in just terms of the last breath, just pushing forward. And no matter what it takes, other people will probably die. It may even be Lump, as much as I joke about they'll never die. But they know that like this is something that they need to see through to the end. And there will be time to grieve. And they may even do it in small ways when it is safe. But not right now, not in here.
Man, it's until the last breath, right? And there's going to be definitely many more of those.
Nah.
So far, it seems like there's a healthy sense of doom, like a healthy fear of the wide open ocean, but in mega dungeon theme. Like you're there to get it done, but there is nothing hopeful about it. It's grim from start to finish.
Who knew that removing Tulak wouldn't make things less negative?
Who knew?
Tulak was the heart and soul of the party.
Yeah. Had real main character syndrome.
It was his story.
Dunk, tell us about Nick, hero of the kobolds.
Oh, feeling super heroic, or was when he was giant. And then very quickly, I don't even know how fast acting that poison would have been. Like if he went down so quickly that he understood what was happening. Maybe he had some faint, I guess he was unconscious, so he wasn't awake to see himself get wrapped up in webs and shit. But no, I think going down here, like since meeting Harold, like he had gone on a bit of a roller coaster. Like he was getting more confidence, and he had the abilities, but since the adamant had come down and made him the hero of the kobolds, and he was starting to feel that group synergy, that group dynamic, and then seeing Tulak fall, like that was the hero of Oteri that he had known from Glashrimder meeting him in the depths, and that's how he knew about the party to begin with, was the reputation of Tulox, so that no doubt rattled him. Then having a new party member to no longer be the new guy around, he obviously went down on this encounter with a bit more bravado than he maybe should have, going tumbling into fucking spiderwebs and whatnot. So now all that's going through his head is the poison coursing through his veins that may or may not kill him while we're waiting for something to happen.
Went for a real Gwen Stefani vibe, if you know what I'm saying.
I do not. I don't listen to music.
It's walking on them spiderwebs.
Oh. Is that a song?
Oh my God, you guys. 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Is it the B-side to Fishing in the Dark?
Okay. Listeners,
Scott was
come
nearly
to the
0 for 2
public
there.
Discord. Fucking sound off about the fact they didn't know Fishing in the Dark or Spiderwebs by No Doubt. Anyways.
I think the Fishing in the Dark you stand alone on, but Spiderwebs.
Yeah, no one's ever heard that song before.
That is
ever, except for you.
that is absolutely insane to me. To me, I'm actually like reeling about how you lived your whole life without hearing that song. It's
I'll have to actually hear it.
flabbergasting.
There's a difference
have to.
between
I just-
not having heard it
Yeah.
and not knowing what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna listen, but you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah, like I couldn't tell you an Adele
Yeah.
song, but I know I've heard one.
You know what? I'll press play, but I'm taking my headphones off.
Son of a bitch.
Smart.
Okay.
I'll go fishing in the dark, but silently.
Okay.
With the light on.
We're gonna do
no
Harold.
rod.
'Cause it'll be quick, and then we're gonna do a quick question session with Freeman. So Harold, I think, was prepared by Longsaddle as to what kind of horrors he was gonna see, but he has yet to really get into the more horrific, ghostly stuff. At this point, he's just seen creatures that he's seen before, like some fungus, some weird sloth-like things, nihilists. You know, he's used to that type of shit. Big spiders, drows. So he's in it. He knows this is dire. He's heard the backstory, but he hasn't really got a taste of the fucking true horror yet. So
I
that's where
imagine,
he's at.
if I may, like the monsters and like fauna and creatures and whatnot, like that's quote unquote the status quo for Harold. Undead, probably the next level up, definitely has some experience, I would assume, but like ghosts and like eldritch horror kind of style stuff is the new camp that you would have got maybe heard a little bit about, maybe being caught up, and maybe Devils is a new one too for you and what they've gone through.
Actually, he does have quite a bit of experience with fighting undead. He actually is an undead slayer.
Oh, right.
And so that kind of came from losing someone that he loved to some undead, which may or may not come out in the story later. He focused on killing a lot of undead. So it's not out of his realm of experience. But I think like the kind of Volek situation, the flesh warping, that is stuff that's new to him. And, you know, he is still kind of looking at Lump like, okay, I've seen some shit, but okay.
Yep. Yeah. But okay. So, like, can't imagine what that was like. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and I know you've picked feats that give you some familiarity with underground terrain.
Yep.
However, have you ever been like, would you say that Harold's been like this deep or like gone to this quite of a level, or is it more of like dungeon diving that he's gained that expertise?
Dungeon diving, caverns, caves, natural situations, not like this. Like he's seen horrors in the deep, but not like this. Like, I mean, it's getting down there. So yeah, this is definitely out of the status quo for him, or is going to be very soon, metagaming wise.
Has seen vaults, but not necessarily abominable ones.
Yes. Freeman, just to round it out, without obviously any spoilers or anything, how do you feel about the party and where they're at?
It is a very precarious thing to realize that the final original character is gone. And like there is this element of, there's a shift that happens in that for me, storytelling wise, in that the current party can never have the full story, right? And that means the motivations become more muddied because there is no original character leading that, not leading the charge per se, just leading the motivation. That character that like saw it from the beginning and kind of keeps people latched on, whether intentionally or not. And that is now gone. And so the motivations, I think, become, it's not that they're not there. I think we know what they are, but they aren't as grounded. And I think that's the biggest thing. And I think we need and are due some role play on that point when the time comes. So that would be my challenge to the rest of you from that question. I think you all need a fireside moment to discuss kind of that topic in general. I think at this point, Ruff has the most to fight for, but is also disconnected from that. And Lump, in theory, in their current consciousness, is the longest running one now and was found the level above. So it's a very interesting dynamic. I think it's very cool that it's hit that point, but it needs to be fleshed out a little bit, I think, on an emotional level, and I hope that you all get to that. And if you don't, the listeners will be disappointed now that I've said it.
Yeah, I mean, that is a really good point. Like, it started with the three characters in the tent with a like direct appeal from Rin that we haven't really had that clarity of mission since.
Mm-hmm.
And who here even knows Rin? I mean, like, they all know Rin, but like
Ruff does.
Ruff does. Ruff grew up in her shop.
Ruff is a personal relationship, but even then, still disconnected from that origin in this weird way,
and attempting to maintain that disconnect because he legitimately doesn't. I don't think he believes that he has a future after this. Like James as a player believes this is a Galahad thing, but I think Ruff as an individual also believes this to be like a Galahad thing. You know, obviously within context of the world. There is a version of the Galahad story where he finds the Holy Grail, gets the sword from Blan and Blaine, gets the shield, and the spear, and he's the Grail Knight who drinks from the cup and immediately disappears and is ascended to heaven because his only purpose in life was to find the Grail. And as soon as his purpose was complete, he was done. And I think that might be what's happening to Ruff here.
The Shaika.
And
did Lump meet Rin? I believe so.
Yeah,
Lump did,
there was a tea ceremony involved.
Where I forced Lump to enjoy tea.
Nick has not met Rin yet. Or did they?
I don't think so. Not that I
like they probably would have. I'm sure she would have been present at like the kobolds coming and making that announcement.
I didn't explicitly say she was. I didn't have her on the map, but
yeah. I mean,
I guess doesn't
as
mean
far
she
as
wasn't
he's
in
aware, she's just some spooky woman in a tent, and he hates tea.
That's Boo Radley Savinci.
And Harold would know Rin from living in Otari, but has
Harold
no connection to Rin as far as this adventure is concerned at this point.
Yeah, but also knows that
The
Rin,
two adventurers that are the closest are Ruff and Harold.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
I love a good character check-in like that. It's so crazy to like talk about those dynamics. I'm looking forward to how it all plays out, assuming you all survive.
Yeah, so Barn.
Yep. That's me.
Don't be a prick. And let's just have a good time. How about that? Okay, here's a segue,
I'm having
everyone.
a great time, right? I'm already having
Let's just have some
Follow
fun,
your heart.
okay?
Follow your heart. Coup de grace Nick right now.
No, Freeman, find a heart and then follow it.
Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose.
My heart says this Goliath spider has one more attack, and it's going to go at one more of those drow. And it's going to miss. And that's going to bring us to a drow in the back. Where are you at? There you are. Who is... I'm just going to move here because I actually can't see the token because of the mushrooms. Because of the amazing map by Narky, I can't see my own token.
I can't see, man. It's all these mushrooms, dude.
Can't see, man.
And fish into the dark over here.
This drow in the back, just with a bow in hand, just looses 2 extremely quick arrows from a composite longbow. Holy shit. 37 to hit the first time. And a 25 to hit the second time. Misses. Hoping to hit twice would have added bleed damage, but no such luck. And then will fire a third time and step forward in the same motion. This very deft archer. And just like quickly moving through these mushrooms. Following behind him, another one seems to be kind of tucked in the background somewhere, but has a very interesting weapon in hand and launches an attack, a ranged attack as well, for a 34 to hit, dealing 15 damage to the spider. It's a big ol' hit from this like kind of really like strange looking hand crossbow. And then the spider becomes off guard by this like distracting strike, which is pretty significant. And up next is Lump. It is the start of your turn in round 12. You are no longer slowed. What do you got?
Lump has got a lot of things they want to do.
If you want to leave that mushroom to me, I'll try and take it down. Because if we kill it, I'm afraid both of them are going to explode. And without giving some heals to Nick, we might lose him just in the explosions.
I am not worried about that.
Oh,
I have plans. What I had,
it's just not worried. Lump's just not worried about Nick. Doesn't like Nick at all.
Didn't just instantly bond with Nick. Doesn't constantly encourage the little guy with heroism. No,
you're projecting. Not. You're just pushing. You're pushing the new bond away because it's too uncomfortable.
Yes. He fell in battle.
You love bombed him, and now you're coming back on it.
I think that God. So I have a couple things that I think can give us some. Huh? Bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
Came from the bottom. Now we're here. Shit. Is the one to the north of me bleeding?
It is. Yes. Yeah. The big mushroom
I'm
guy.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast a horrifying blood loss at it. So I need a will save.
Nice. Will save. Oh, I rolled real good. 33.
33. That is a success. You become frightened 1.
Okay.
And then I'm going to raise a shield because I'm tired of getting smacked all the time. And then my last action, I will trip the mushroom to the southeast of me, the puffball, because the one to the north of me is too large. That is a 31 to trip it.
The puffball?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's wait. Hold on. Reflex. 33.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. That's good.
Okay.
Success.
And that is all 3 of my actions. It becomes rough. Oh wait, I need to make a conceal check for that trip.
Puffball is prone.
15 for the concealment.
Yeah. You good? That's it.
Yeah, that's all 3. Horrifying blood loss 1 action, raise shield 2 action, trip 3rd action.
Perfect. Rough. What do you got? Also, no longer slowed. Enjoy.
7 on the DC flat check. 2 action ignition against the big guy.
Okay.
Not the puffball. I can't remember what you were calling it.
Jacothics. Big mushroom man.
Jacothic. It's a 35 to hit.
The flood.
Silly mushroom man.
35 to hit is a crit. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's 15 fire or 32 from the crit. I don't know what that works out to be with the weakness, but hopefully enough.
I mean, you mean 16 fire and 32?
16 fire, and then it's doubles
Yeah.
to 32. Yeah.
Describe how you light this thing up to its demise.
He just, runs a hand down the edge of the blade and sparks fly off and it creates like this gout of flame, like a flamethrower out of the end of his long sword.
Sick.
Sick
I love it, even like you shooting out a little flamethrower, but it doesn't reach the creature. Instead, there's like this mirrored like flame that just bursts up from underneath it or something, and it thing just like the spores just start sparking all over the place. It's almost blinding, almost dazzling, even for it, and it just goes down. But it doesn't explode. Doesn't explode.
That's
Just
good.
its big hooked tendrils just droop down, and this thing like it almost deflates. And like bursts. Remember in the original Halo when you like bashed the little flood guys and they burst in front of you like a
Yep.
weird balloon? Yeah, just like boom, like in a whole bunch of series of those.
That's what I was afraid
That's
of.
the weirdest confetti I've ever seen.
Yeah. I went with fire specifically in case it put out like a noxic cloud that the fire could just, burn up.
Yeah. Nope, just gave you a
okay.
sweet extra 10 damage and the thing is down.
Okay. He will stride 25 feet.
Okay. Strides 25 feet to the south, getting a little closer to Lump in the other cavern, or part of the cavern.
Yeah, still trying to use the terrain to his advantage because he's such a small guy, going from behind one row of difficult terrain to kind of tucked into a corner behind another row of difficult terrain.
Yeah. One of these drow starts circling around this creature to get in a more advantageous position and swings a blade, misses, swings a second time, misses, but not by a long shot. The other drow is going to loop around and get into that flanking position because they are, in fact, trained for this, and will swing again from flank. Miss, I'm afraid. And that brings us to Harold.
Harold is going to...
Is Harold still slowed?
No.
Harold is no longer slowed. Thank you. No one is slowed anymore.
Just Nick, who's not moving at all.
Okay, so, yeah.
The slowest.
So, Harold is going to exploit vulnerability on the little puffball over there.
Okay.
That is a 24.
That's a meat to beat.
Very nice. Just looking at this, the highest weakness is piercing -10, and the personal antithesis bonus damage is 6, which I will take as I... Oh, no, never mind. I'm going to use the piercing.
Yeah.
So the immortal weakness. And then next action will be...
What's your esoterica look like for a mortal weakness on a giant floating mushroom?
It's piercing. So he's going to take out a almost like a small dagger and just rub that up on the side of his blade, which gives it the piercing
Okay.
ability. And it won't be piercing damage, it just gives it the bypass.
Yeah. I love this. I think it's such a cool class.
So I would like to roll a recall knowledge on maybe the spider using esoteric lore,
Okay.
and that is a nat 20 for a 40.
Okay. Holy crap. Okay. Okay, this is a Goliath spider. It is gargantuan. It is an animal. It's got a -5 intelligence, so it's not really smart at all. It hits you with them fangs, which delivers a Goliath spider venom. It can also shoot a web at you at 60 feet, which tethers you to it, making you restrained, which can be overcome through an escape or a force open check if you want, or struck for an AC 20, hardness 5, HP 20. And has dark vision. That's pretty much everything. Its lowest save is will.
Okay,
And its
he
second lowest save, because you have Ratchet 20, its second lowest save is reflex. Fort's super high.
Very
How
interesting.
many legs it got?
Would have thought that reflex would have been high. But anyways, so
It's got 15 legs, Duncan.
How many body segments?
Several.
Okay, you just making sure you don't know what a spider is.
So Harold yells that out, bellows it to everybody, including the drow if they speak common. Then for his final action, the tattoos on his body start to kind of glow. You can see them just peeking out from underneath. And they are arcane tattoos, and he casts shield and raises up his arm, and a black shield that almost looks like it's made of hide and wood together comes up.
Sick ink, bruh.
Okay.
And
That's
so
turn.
that is his turn.
Okay. That
That's pretty
brings
sweet
us
that you
to...
have an avatar state.
You are still taking poison damage, so take 8 poison damage. Roll me a recovery check, please.
Fuck, 6. Slowly
And,
dying.
Slowly dying. Yeah, hair's looking a little bit rough. It is now the Puffball's turn, who is going to continue its assault on Lump for a terrible, terrible, terrible 19 to hit.
That's a
Followed up
critical
by
miss.
a 27 to hit?
That's a miss.
Oh, damn it.
Be
And
mindless.
what's that?
It's a be mindless.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, do I just float away? No, I don't. I'm mindless. 8 to hit.
Double critical
Okay.
miss.
Double critical miss. Another one of the drow follows one of the others to get into a proper flanking position as well, and is going to give it the old college try. 33 to hit. Hits on the first go, delivering 9 damage. And I need a fortitude save from the big old dude here. Natural 20, no big deal. Follow-up strike, 19 to hit is a miss. And that's going to bring us to the top of the order with Nick still dying.
Still dying.
Still
Nat
dying.
20 on that recovery check.
Whoa! Okay.
You're stable.
See, not worried.
You are stabilized. There's no...
Now he's just a
yeah.
sleeping giant.
It's just a sleeping giant. No more dying condition. You are just having a snooze in the mushroom field. And from there, we just remove the old drow that was murdered. And the spider is going to turn to one of the two harrying it on one side. Go ahead and strike. Oh, that's a big old crit. That's a big old crit right there. Bam. 38 damage to one of the drow with I need a fortitude save, which I've critically failed, which applies 5 damage plus slowed 1. That's brutal. And I might not have even done that because it's going to strike a second time, and it's going to be another critical strike. And it absolutely mangles another one of these drow. Just tearing it to shreds, smashing it against some of the mushrooms as more spores flying into the cavern, bits and pieces of mushrooms just like flying all over the place. And it's actually got one more attack. So it's going to go for the third guy. Regular hit at the mat -10. 28 damage. He's looking rough. This is not looking good for the drow.
Dude, that's rough. Imagine if
yeah.
that was our party coming in to save some people, and then we just lost 2 people all of a sudden.
Yeah, we would do the
only ever
smarter
one.
thing and let that problem take care of itself.
Yeah. The wicked ass archer in the back is going to go for another quick shot. Hitting with one of the hits. But still not managing to get the bleed in there. It will, let's see here. It's using a cool ability called Hunter's Wound. It can shoot, if it hits twice in a row, it'll add bleed damage, but can't seem to get that second one. And let's see here. The long shot, third strike, no dice. Still a little bit of damage in. And then we've got ourselves the one with the weird hand crossbow in the back again, and is going to try another one of these distracting shots. The creature has been off guard all this time. It's off guard until the end of this creature's next turn. Oh no, it's not a critical hit, so it's not off guard anymore. Just pull that away. Everything's still legit. Go for another distracting shot. Natural 1. Brutal.
These drow did not come ready to throw down. I'm sorry.
Second shot, 33 to hit. That hits. 11 more damage. You say that, Dunk, but they're the only ones who have done damage to the spider so far.
The fucker took me out in his first hit.
You're up. What do you got?
But yeah, you got a good point.
Lump is up. The one right here to my southeast, have we touched it at all?
It's been hit once,
maybe twice. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Blood Spray Curse, and I need a Fortitude save from it, please.
Okay. Fortitude save from the puffball. 25.
That is a meet to beat. So for the next minute, the first time each round that the target takes at least 10 piercing or slashing damage from a single strike, it takes 2d6 additional damage of the same type. And I'm going to have the arm, I have the Morningstar out, so I'm going to strike using its piercing function.
Okay.
That is a 29 to hit.
That hits.
8 points of damage as I low roll the fuck out of my 2d6s, but that is 18 points of damage, so I'm going to roll an extra 2d6 for 9 more.
Okay, 9 more. Awesome. So, because you had exploited its weakness there, so it's 18 plus 9, so wicked amount of damage. Okay, anything else? That's it?
That is all 3 of my actions.
Okay, Rough.
Okay, first action will be Dimensional Assault, and he will jump 15 feet in, so he's right up close to this puffball. That's an 8 on the flat check, and
Okay.
Oh, I guess I would do a flat check.
21 piercing.
Yeah, technically you do.
I got an 8. We're good.
Okay, good. 22.
21.
21 to hit?
Yeah.
Is a miss.
Okay, next 2 actions will be to Spell Strike with Ignition or Ignite. It's a 13 on the flat check and a natural 20 for a 39 to hit.
We love this.
Do we know? Is this gonna kill Nick?
Yeah, it probably is.
It's not going to kill Nick. Dying 2 at worst.
Dying 3.
No, you're
You
stabilized right
stabilized.
now.
I guess you gained wounded.
Well, no,
one,
but
so
he's,
yeah,
but he,
dying.
Yeah, I got
wounded.
wounded
Yeah, he's
one.
wounded. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, 32 points of piercing, that's already doubled, and 19 points of fire, that is not doubled yet.
Okay, not doubled. Okay, amazing. Massive amount of damage.
And then 4 points
80
of piercing
points
for
of
the Blood
damage.
Spray Curse.
And 4 more points of piercing.
No, sorry. That one does. It's only once per round, so I took it with Lump.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, took it for themselves. Okay, still that is 80 points of damage. It's outrageous. But it's still up. I actually
actions,
forgot that
done
it's
fucking
still
around.
prone. It's been prone this whole time. It's just laying there doing its thing. That brings us to one of the drow who was gonna do its damnedest to keep fighting this spider. And let's see here. 27 to hit. That's a miss. It's a
They are
big ol' miss.
Great
And,
spider bait, though.
You got
Oh,
flanking.
I've
though.
got a. Yeah, I've got flanking. 28, I just rolled, is a hit with flanking. And I actually fucked up earlier and realized that I didn't add some sneak attack these guys have. So I'm going to add 1 damage on from that previously. And then I'm going to go ahead and add 14 slashing plus another round of 5 sneak attack. And it's never going to happen, but fortitude save from the creature, yeah, it exceeds. Not the worst round from this guy. He'll go ahead and swing a 3rd time like a fool. And nope. And then the next one, yeah, this guy, he's going to do the same stuff. Ooh, natural 20 on the second swing.
Yeah, baby.
I apologize for talking so much shit.
For its flanking, it actually does count as a crit. So 28 damage plus doubling sneak attack, another 10 damage. Wow, fucking smashes this thing. Goes for the 3rd hit, misses, just swinging like madmen. And we got Harold.
Harold will delay.
Harold delays. Next up, we have Puffball. Oh, Harold, take 2 poison damage and roll me a recovery check.
18.
Nice. Success, finally.
How many damage? 2?
2, yeah.
The
The Puffball is going to float away. Ruff, want a reactive strike?
I do. That's a 10 on the flat check, and
Do you?
action tab. 38 to hit.
That's a crit.
16 points of piercing.
Okay. And it is not dead.
Oh.
And just floats as far away and into a corner and up to the ceiling as best as it can.
So 1 action
You better run.
And that brings us to
I will
Nick.
hop in.
Okay,
now.
hopping in the order. Okay, Harold's jumping in. Okay.
Harold is going to move to within 15 feet of Nick. I've got no way of healing you, so there's that. But I'm going to exploit vulnerability of the spider.
You're going to try to anyway.
I'm going to try to. And that is a 25.
That succeeds.
Oh, apologies. I was targeting the wrong creature.
Okay. Try that again.
Rolled again, another success. So highest weakness is none. So I will take the personal antithesis for the 6 points of damage.
Okay.
He is just going to yell to the drow, "We are allies!" Wait, that's not his voice. You over there. We're allies. Let's take this creature down and then parlay.
And what language you say that in?
Was just in common.
Okay.
He's not that smart. But you know what? Just because I want to use my last action, let's just go ahead and make that a diplomacy. How about that? To make an impression.
Okay.
Mid-combat, make an impression.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
Oh, fuck. 3 on the die for 19.
You were to say 30. I was like, definitely not 30. 19. Okay. They
Foundry
don't
hasn't
seem to
been
be
scrolling
paying
down
attention
for
to
me.
you at all because they are preoccupied.
With all their friends dying. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Nick. You're just
Sputters
hanging
to
out there,
life.
eh? Just doing your thing.
Just comes to life with spider webs on him. Apparently, just coughing.
Do you come to
had the
life?
weirdest-
Is there a reason you come to life?
Do you not come to?
You could roll the pearly white spindle to get that 1 hit point. We've been in combat for over a minute.
You know what? Yeah. You have a pearly white.
I do.
Okay, you get 1 hit point and you spring awake. I'll allow it.
Dahaha.
See, when you stabilize, remember, Dunk, you don't actually get any hit points. You're just 0 and stabilized, so you're not awake.
Oh, okay. I misread. I thought that you got the got the 1 hit point from stabilizing.
Okay. No. Unless they change something in the remaster that I don't know about. But it doesn't matter.
No,
Your
that
pearly
was
white
5e,
activates. And you, it is a 5e thing, I think, yeah. You just awake. You're still
If you get
massive.
swallowed alive while you're stabilizing. It's just,
And shit is just going down all over the place around you.
Well, he's still huge, and he's on the ground, so he is going to take a stab at that spider from the ground.
You do need to spend 1 action to grab the weapon.
Yeah.
One
your
action to
weapons-
grab the weapon.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if he doesn't have the weapon in his hands, then first action he's going to draw and chug a moderate healing potion.
So yeah, draw and chug that's 2 actions total.
Yep. So it'll be 31 HP back.
nice.
Worth it.
And then he is just going to take a 5-foot crawl back.
Okay.
I love it.
Big Nick starts to crawl away. Goliath spider is up, still preoccupied with the drow surrounding it. Big ol' hit on one of them. Oh, is that a crit? It's a crit, yeah. The last one that attacked absolutely murders it. Turns itself around to strike the one to its north. Hit but no crit. And goes in for a last one. Hit but no crit. Boom, boom. This one drow to the north is looking rough. All of his allies nearly dead except for the ranged ones in the back. Bowman in the back. Gonna try a couple more shots. Miss. Not looking good. Repeating hand crossbow drow in the back. Gonna give it the old college try as well. Distracting shot. Ooh, 32. That hits. 14. Creature is off guard. We'll try a second attack. Misses. Can't get the sneak attack in. And Lump, you're up.
All right. Lump is going to go ahead and burn another 2-action heal on good old Nikaj, the hero of Otari, for 65 points of healing.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
And then is going to go ahead and battle medicine. Rough.
Oh, thanks. I haven't taken a hit since we left that Nihilith room.
Yeah, but you're half health, bud. You're half health.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate it so much. Part of my next turn was going to be to draw a healing potion. So
Treat wounds.
What DC you going for?
I'm definitely going for master.
Hell yeah.
And I fail with rolling a 4. Sometimes it'd be like that.
Sometimes it'd be
that's my
like
turn.
that.
Yep.
Okay, so no healing. Rough.
That's all.
is that a critical fail?
No,
No.
it's just regular. I can't
Okay.
quickly fail unless I roll a 1.
Okay. I can move through Nick's spot. Is that right?
Yes.
All right.
You could just run through his legs.
Difficult
Yeah,
terrain.
well, you're not. You're.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
okay.
not difficult terrain,
Alright,
and you're
yeah.
friends,
He's
so you're
prone.
fine. So yeah,
You
like
could just-
Lump is trying to fumble with the medic bag as Rough just takes off running.
Ruff's gonna launch 2-action Ray of Frost at the spider first.
Okay.
23 to hit.
That's a miss.
Okay, and does Nick count as difficult terrain or not?
It's weird
He's
because
prone, so I totally get it. It's just-
typically no, but it's
Yeah.
a huge Nick that's prone. It's the only thing.
That's-
But
yeah.
yeah, by the rules, it's a no. Yeah.
Yeah, you could
Okay.
more like aid him along like he was the Dragon Road in Dragon Ball Z.
Wow. Then he'll stride 25 feet, so he's flanking this spider. Or right up against
Okay.
it. I don't know if he's actually mechanically flanking it with anyone.
Not at the moment,
No,
but
not
yeah.
anymore. They're all dead.
You're right
except
up.
for
You're
one.
right up in its goodies yet. Which brings us to the drow that just got its ass beat a bit. It sees you run up with the sword in hand and casting a spell, and it actually like goes around and flanks. Just starts busting around this the fucking wide perimeter of this creature. Swings its blade, miss. Swings its blade, miss. Puffball floats high up into the ceiling until you can't see it anymore. It's gone. And
eat that.
top of the round, Harold.
Okay, Harold will also run past Nirkaj, and then will use the mirror's reflection and create a second version of himself 15 feet away. So I think there.
Yeah. That's fine, yeah.
And will attack as the reflection, because that is in flanking with the fucking drow.
That's crazy.
There's nothing to lose and there's nothing to prove, and I'm flanking.
That's crazy.
Myself.
You've moved to a non-flanking position and then just like mirrored yourself into a flanking position.
That's right, baby. And that is a 28 to hit.
That hits with flanking.
So that is going to be 17 points of damage plus my what's it called?
Use your words.
Personal antithesis.
Yes, antithesis. Yeah, and then the persistent bleed.
And then persistent bleed. Lovely. Cool. Nick,
laying on the ground, huge, grabs his spear for the first action, stabs with it for the second action. 38 to hit.
38 hits. If you had bothered to stand up, you would have crit. I'm just saying.
Well, you can't win them all.
Just saying.
20 piercing.
20 piercing. You just hear this big squeal and a whistle out of this creature with this massive spear jabbing into the side. What else you got?
A third action will be another stab for a 27.
That's a miss.
Yeah. Standing up next time, I guess.
And that brings us to the Goliath spider, who will then attempt to ascend its web. Who's got reactive strikes?
Oh, you know it's coming.
Because I tell you right now, the drow does.
32.
23.
32 hits. What do you got?
23 piercing.
Describe how you destroy and defeat the Goliath spider from a proned position as a huge kobold.
Just crawled backwards and had two of his teammates run over him going at this spider and stabbed out with the only energy that's left in him, as he can feel the heroism and the enlargement, which is basically like performance enhancing drugs to him at this point, just kind of leaving him. And luckily, as his last ounce of strength leaves, so does the life from the spider's 8 stupid buggy eyes.
Bam.
And you just see, just this thing just squeals and one of its legs, it's caught in the swing, and half of it's half falling off, and then it there's just pus and fluid just spilling out from its massive body. And everyone had taken their swing and even managed to accidentally hit at some point, despite not being accurate, because it's just you drop this thing, including the drow. It just smashes his sword to the side of it. It just continues to smash, and you can see a few more bolts and arrows loosed to make sure that this thing is in fact down and stays down. And that's the end of the combat.
Hell yeah.
Piece of cake.
For the
Holy
record,
crap.
Duncan, that enlarge lasts for 5 minutes, so you still got 4 minutes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that was just to flavor him leaving. He's just gonna be the heaviest thing in the world and not have the energy to pick himself up right now.
Whew.
Praise be to Skode. I wasn't expecting that.
It was definitely a bit of a harrowing challenge. Anyone that's wounded, please gather around me.
I think Ruff just sits down. He's so tired.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. New drow friends, please make us your acquaintance.
Yeah, Harold looks across at the drow around and says, "Friends, do you understand me? And if you do you want some healing?" And that will be this time in Common, but then repeats it in Sakroth.
And as he says that, Lump accidentally stabs him with a needle for 6 points of damage. As I correctly fail the way that I said that I would earlier.
Who, me?
I think I stab everyone for 6 points. I'm not sure exactly how that works.
Should we just get you assurance for that or something?
I have to get so many fucking skill feats, and it wouldn't be enough at this level anyways.
You speak to these drow in Commons, Harold, and as you go to switch languages, you just get stabbed. Like, ah! And then you can hear them start to talk in a language you don't understand, but I believe Lump does. And it is Elven. Yeah.
Too bad they're too busy stabbing people.
So one of them just walks up and orders the drow with this sword to like bring the bodies back, and one of them casts the third one casts the one who made the command like a look like you stepped over your bounds, and there's a bit of a wry grin. And then the drow with the sword like sheathes it and gets to work and starts to like drag the bodies away.
Ooh,
And
shady
the drow with the composite bow steps forward, and just as you're saying like something in Sakroth, and then they like kind of turn their head, like, and responds, "You are surface dweller warriors. You fight with great expertise."
Thank you for your assistance. My condolences on your casualties. We'll say back in Elven.
In Elven, okay. And another head, like, kind of cocked towards you, like, oh. And responding in Elven, "It is part of what you sign up for. We will mourn them, and we will honor them. But we came here for this spider, and we have seen it through. They do us great favor in their death, as do you in life."
Well, it is your trophy, as you see
Lump.
fit. Yes, sir.
Sorry, Cam.
Okay.
Lump spent a lot of time with Glash, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So we found Glash with Flaxshy, a drow in the back of the tavern. Is that something Lump would know about? And maybe
I wasn't
maybe
there for
this
the
drow
tavern.
stronghold is down yonder. Right,
Yeah,
but you
but-
spent a lot of time with Glash,
That's
so I
true.
wonder
I
if
could-
maybe
yeah.
that information was passed on to you.
Would,
You're the only one in the party who would probably know that, so...
Yeah, at this point, yep.
would you happen to know a Flaxshy by any chance?
Point of order. It's Falshi.
Falshi?
Falshi or Shendiel.
A Falshi or a Cinderelle? Or Cinderelle? I'm sorry, my Elven is a little rusty.
And there's a perk up from the one that kind of got a chastising look, like, huh? And the one that seems to be leading the party is like, "How do you know one of the Shendiels?"
Oh, I met a lovely deep gnome named Glash Mindor, and he told me a little bit about you and your people. I guess not you in specific. And Lump kind of just starts muttering and just like not used to actually talking to people this much. Getting a little social anxiety. And I'm sorry to be rude, but do you speak the common tongue, Taldane?
And they just give you like a no, like a shake of the head. No, I have no idea what
good.
that is.
This is great. Just starts getting like, oh god, and starts sweating like weird, oily.
So
I
Harold
still
looks
have
over.
a few scrolls of translate left if you would like me to assist.
Harold looks over and sees how awkward this is for Lump, and continues in Sackroth. Do y'all know someone named Yin Yasmara? Got the same dialect, it seems like.
And the one in the back steps up and is like, "We've not heard of this, Yin Yasmara. However, we did hear of this Glastrom tour. We thought it a fleeting fancy from the silly Felshi, but you seem to confirm that his story may be true. And you are service dwellers? How fortuitous it is that his story mentioned those."
He is alive, yes.
Oh yes, he's quite fine and recovered now after his harrowing journey.
Lump lets out a small sigh of relief.
We saved one, yay!
Are we talking about Falshi or are we talking about Glash?
Oh, we've not met this Glash. We thought it a made-up name. But you seem to have repeated it, so I guess it couldn't be that two separate parties came up with the same silly-sounding thing.
He dances like an angel.
Just booms across the cavern, echoing off the walls.
Sometimes I can still hear the pitter-patter of his little feet on the stone.
I don't know about any bitter batter, but I know that the distant cousin of our leader, Quora, Falshi, a lazy sod, always prone to tales.
Now, can I ask you what you're doing down here? I mean, other than this being somewhat close to your homelands, what brings you into these vaults?
Oh, I'm sorry. He doesn't speak Elven. They
speak
hunting.
Sackroth, though.
I know. I'm saying that they told me in Elvish they were hunting the spider.
There's a really weird confusion going on now.
Yep.
I wouldn't think that. I mean, even if he knew, I think that they came into the Abomination Vaults just to hunt this one spider.
There's a settlement down here called Ildaris,
that's-
and they're probably coming from there.
Before you chime in, Lamp, one of them just says, "Near our home, we are hardly near our home. We have an outpost nearby, perhaps. But home? No. Far from. We are here, yes, for the spider. But it is because it threatens the livelihood of our outpost. This thing took a few scouts from us, and a few more wardens now as well. But it is a prize and trophy to return back to Quora and the rest of Ildaris." Specifically says Ildaris.
Seems you and that spider both range far away, then.
This is the life in the Darklands. It is brutal. We eke out the existence, and we survive it.
Huh. And he turns to Lump. I didn't think it would have been like that. I thought they would have been here for something else, and then this spider came upon them.
I mean, you're a hunter yourself, yes?
Yes.
So, do you always come from the place of the things you're hunting?
No. But
A man of few words, I see. And Lump just waits for Harold to continue.
Well, you went and cut me off. I was confused by that. I understand that they might not have come down. I think we are digressing a little too much from the actual topic at hand. We now understand why they're here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where are y'all going back to? Is your outpost far?
Well, that brings us to a counter question, doesn't it? What are you doing here at all? Are you ranging upon what might be considered our territory? Even if it is a bit contested by such creatures. Pointing at the big dead spider. And like some of the things in the back. The creatures in the back. What brings you here? And despite our coordinated effort, why should we trust you?
Well, ain't you heard of Belcora?
I can't say that I have, no?
That's what we're hunting. Creature. A ghost now, a spirit. Haunting these vaults down below. Surprised you haven't run into her. Her and her minions taking many of our friends.
We've seen many a creature, strange minions, and some of them following strange rules or tasks. In fact, we have one imprisoned. Something we've been trying to contend with for a while now in this area. Didn't quite understand what it said, but maybe it has something for you, I'm not sure. But Belcora, at least to me and my squad, what little remains, well, seems no business of ours.
Have you met the Caligny people?
I've met many Caligny people.
In this area?
Perhaps our scouts have seen a few here and there, running around in the caves and amongst the fungi.
And how about one layer down? You been there?
Why do you ask?
Again, we met these Caligny and they are looking for their friends and allies. We'd like to reacquaint them.
A point of order. I don't know what you mean.
Aren't the... Like, wait, hold on.
No, they're refugees of some kind, like escaping, like, death. They aren't looking for anybody.
Didn't they have allies that were a floor below us?
They have allies. They have, yeah, they were part of the same contingent, but they were, like, basically, fractured, like, philosophically.
Oh, they're not
know
trying
exactly
to meet up.
where and who they are, and they actually offered an introduction to them for you.
Yeah. But they're not.
So they're not
are
looking.
they not
they're
trying
not
to
looking
meet,
for them. They know exactly.
Oh, they're not trying to
where
meet
they are.
up with each other.
No.
Oh.
No,
Protestant
but
Catholic
you
thing
could
going
tell
on.
them that we killed the Erdophon, because that was kind of what was harrying some of the drow down here, or some of the creatures down here. That might gain us some favor.
Or they were best friends with that Erdophon.
It's possible that I don't know how much you would have told Harold about Tulak. That might be something you left out. I'm not sure. Maybe you gave the full story. But Tulak's the one who murdered the Erdophon for sure. That's up to you all.
Harold leaves that up to Lump.
Because Flashy and Glash were ambushed by an Erdophon.
Just so you're aware, we did dispatch an Erdophon as well down here, as for a reason to trust us. We were informed that they had been harrying your people.
A strange thing to bring out of nowhere. Who informed you they were harrying us?
Falshi and Glash once again.
Falshi. The two drow give each other a look. He's a bit loose with that tongue, isn't he? Yes, he is, yes. Alright, yes, the Erdophon give us some trouble. But Ildaris will do its best to handle them. So far we take you at your word, but we don't trust the word of a stranger off the bat. However, it does line up a bit with what Felcia said so far. So, you may come to Idaris if you like. We'll introduce you to our leader, Cora. Cora Orchendiel. But beware. It is her command that your lives will be held within.
This Quora sounds like she has answers.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I do want to just before we move on, would you permit us some time to treat wounds and search for any remaining treasure or food to be found?
Yes, come with us. We will show you. We have a little outpost here, in which we've been hiding, and this is where we've been doing our scouting in order to plan for an attack like this. When you arose from the mushrooms, we saw it, the fortuitous moment. For now, we can lay low back there if you like. I went Scottish all of a sudden, and I don't know why.
Yeah, you've gone Russian, French, Scottish.
I just came out of me.
Ukrainian's really hard to hold on to.
It sounded like some Metro 2033 dudes came out of there at first.
Yes. Bourbon! Oh, good to see you!
Artyom, kill the
Artyom!
spider!
Yes.
I am merely
love
asking.
that series.
I am merely asking because we have yet to search everything, and there may be some clues yet to our that will help us in our quest, I suppose. And we also have a never-minded Medusa that we should probably deal with one way or another. And Lump just kind of scratches their forehead.
Yes, we thought it curious that this creature at the back of the cavern would sort of linger for no apparent reason. Never really acting, never really doing anything, but we could not approach thanks to the spider. But for now, just follow us. You have earned our respect through your combat prowess at the very least, and you deserve a bit of respite. Please, join us.
Lump would like to roll a sense motive because, this
Oh,
is the
yeah,
second
sure.
time that they've, hey, let us do something real quick, or, you want it blind or open?
No, go ahead and roll it. Yeah.
Okay. Natural 20 for a 37.
Ooh, love that for us.
You absolutely think they are being honest about the respite. They're going to take you back to this little area to rest up. No problem. They straight up, you have done a big favor to them, but they're trying to hide the fact that you've done them a big favor. A little bit. They're appreciative, but they're this is huge for us. They're trying to, save face. And I'll also give you that you have this funny feeling that they don't have much love for the Medusa. So you're not really sure what they'll do with it if they were to be a part of that kind of interaction.
Yeah, Lump doesn't particularly love the Medusa either, but
sure. Nor should anyone really. There's something odd about it, and there's something fucked up about its mind, which gives a bit of an ethical dilemma. But otherwise, as it stands, a creature like that is something you're I'm not so sure. But that's the vibe you get. They're 100% gonna hook you up, 100%.
If the vibe is just come rest and we can come back here and look afterwards, then that's fine. Just Lump doesn't want to leave anything behind us that might be a clue or gear or anything else, because
sure, yeah,
I feel like we've kind of blown through these rooms and just a rolling encounter sort of situation.
Yeah, it
So
was pretty hectic. Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of let's go back and pick this through.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, we can expedite it a little bit. The one drow warden is has been dragging the bodies back, and has kind of cleared that, and so obviously their gear is still the possessions of the drow. You do notice within the web some various bits of treasure hanging about. You know, you have to roll a perception check for that. It's like very clear that some creatures and some warriors and some adventurers have been caught up and destroyed. So you have, let's see here, a couple magic things to roll on. A bag filled with dust. There is a wooden shield, and there is a jade bubble. But like we can get, if you want, like you can
Yeah, we can do that.
kind of get everyone, you know, back into the area here. So if you want to, if everyone just want to come this way.
Bag of pocket sand.
It's a bag of. I was going to say pocket sand, and then I couldn't think of anything else after Duncan said it. Fuck.
Beat you to the punch.
You did.
Sha-sha.
Yeah. But yeah, you can follow into this like little. There's like a sort of old abandoned structure built into the cave walls, which is pretty typical of what you've seen so far. And you can see where there was like there's a little nook that some of the drow would have been like spying out. And there's a room where it's a kind of crumbled away, but it looks like it was once kind of like, you know, a really nice room to hang out in and kind of like look around. There's a big curtain in the room. If you pull that apart, there's a transparent stone wall basically that makes a window that you can see through the cavern. So it's like kind of a lookout area in general. You notice like as you're kind of following in, like you pass by one closed door, and in this larger room there was another closed door. But beyond that, it's as homey as it gets for as far as like an outpost kind of like contingent area goes for a little scouting party. And as you're making your way back as well, one of the one drow with the repeating crossbow, who's kind of playing this strange sort of like second fiddle, gives a whistle. You hear another whistle, and this medium-sized hunting spider like comes out of like the mushrooms and follows them along and like joins them, and it's like part of the group. This like big gangly spider.
Oh, it's so cute. What's its name?
We don't give names to military assets.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
The only culture in the history of time.
Yes, take your time here. It is quite secure in here. You're welcome to... it's not much. We don't have any beds or anything, but take your time, and we will prepare our report for returning to Eldaris. And we can depart when you're ready.
How far is that from here?
It is a short journey, though we will have to go through some of the caves within the Darklands here, but it should not take us more than, less than an hour to arrive.
Are we going to be going deeper, or is it about this level?
Oh, we will go deeper. But this is a very secure outpost. We've had it for, many, many years. Centuries, in fact.
So you're telling me that you've been around here for centuries and you ain't never seen that Belcora person once?
Well, I have not been here for centuries. I'm part of the military of our people. And we come and go. I've been here for some years now, but...
Yeah. Harold.
Why are you suddenly giving me the third degree, exactly?
Yeah, Harold, slow down just a little bit. Just because they've been here for centuries, like, I don't think Longsaddle appraised you of the situation. Belcora didn't become active again until very recently. She was dormant, as it were. And so until the lighthouse lit back up, it's been 400 years since the Rose Guard dealt with her, so they could have been here for centuries and never seen or heard of her.
Understood. I thought maybe that these centuries could have been about 400, but I understand.
Well, I mean, you're lucky to live a century, so I don't think you quite understand the scale of time that we're dealing with.
There's again a look between the two drow that seem to be in charge. The one warden who's, the soldier and the workhorse is paying no mind.
Oh, I was speaking the common to Harold, just so you know.
Sure. No, okay, sure. But the two of them are still, they're eyeing you a bit, going like, what are they talking about? Like the tone, they could detect a bit of the tones, the shift and change. And at least one of them goes, "You've brought this Belcora up a couple times. Is there something you want to tell us? We are unaware of this creature you seem to have an agenda with. Do you want to fill us in?"
Perhaps you best let him know, because my line of questioning seems to be off here, Lump, and you got more information than I do.
Belcora was a powerful magic user some 400 years ago. She had plans to bring about an outer god to this plane, as best I understand it. At least destroy Absalom. Not that you particularly care about that. And Lump kind of just meanders all over the place. Not good at storytelling. Sure. But eventually just gets to the point of she's recently reawoken, and we believe
one of them just cuts you off. One just listen.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes. I'm listening.
Sit down. We have time.
Oh, okay.
Please take your time and regale us with what you know.
And Lump...
We will listen wholeheartedly and see if it is a concern of the drow.
And Lump will sit down in one of the old chairs, and then it breaks under their weight.
This big awkward crash.
And then Lump just sits on the ground on the broken chair, just completely trying to play it off like I meant to do that.
Yeah.
But then we'll just tell them everything that they don't think will give away anything that might be used against Otari.
Sure. And they sit there and take in your story as best they can in the language you're speaking to them. But perhaps the other party members are sitting there a bit awkwardly going, wasting time. But
Nick's just looking for stuff.
I think Ruff's playing with the spider.
Starts playing with the spider. They are very intently listening to your story. You get the feeling that you have encountered two reasonably important drow for whatever this Eldaris is, and they want to know more, and that's what we're going to call it. Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.